Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsyreplays and welcome back to another top 5 video. Now today we're going to be doing the top 5 most unique tanks in the game. Now again, this is my opinion. In fact, a few days ago or a week ago or so, I was in my Discord server and we was coming up with ideas, and actually someone on my Discord server gave me this idea, and we was actually going through all the tanks to see what kind of tanks have certain uniqueness, and I think we finally got down to the top 5. Of course there might be different tanks with better uniqueness and stuff like that, but these were what we thought of at the time. So number 5 is the Batchat. Now, why is the Batchat so unique? Well, it's unique for one reason, and that is that it is a light tank in tier 10. It's the only light tank in tier 9 and 10. They're both Batchats can be added to this, and it looks like in the future it will only be the light tank in tier 9 and tier 10, especially tier 10. Wargaming have no plans at the moment to add any more light tanks in the game. So because of that reason, this tank becomes very unique at being that light tank and being an autoloader at that as well. So it's pretty unique. It's a nice tank, very nice tank. It's got no armor, but really is, I mean, you can still bounce grills, no problem whatsoever. But it's a really enjoyable tank, especially with the autoloader, the speed, the camo. It really is an enjoyable tank to play. Of course, you do have to be careful when you play this because people are going to load the HE at you because you are a juicy target. But having said that, it's still a fun tank to play. I have the ratings camo even on the tank because it just looks gorgeous. And as I said, it's played a lot now in tournaments because it is the light tank in tier 10, so it can get the spots nice and early. One thing that really isn't too good about this tank is when you cliff dive someone. I mean, yeah, we do a little bit of damage there to the Death Star, which was quite fun to do. But other than that, fantastic tank. Now, coming in at number 4, this is the Chiha. This is the Japanese Chiha. And you're probably sitting there thinking, why is this tank unique? Well, this is a Japanese tier 3 tank. And the only reason it's unique is because at the moment, this is the only tank in the game to appear in the tech tree twice. Yes, it appears twice. It is the Japanese tier 3 and it is the Chinese tier 3 with the exact same name, almost the exact same stats, and they're both tier 3. So I know the Chinese are a copy version, but it's still in the tech tree as the same name. And here we have the Chinese tech tree. It just looks the same, plays the same. It is exactly the same tank. Now, of course, there is other tanks like you have the T-34 and you have the T-34 Independence, the IS-6 and the IS-6 Fearless. They are the same tanks, but they are different, and they just have different camouflage. But they're not in the tech tree. The Chiha is the only tank in the game to appear twice in the tech tree. So that brings me to number 3. It is the T-49. And of course, this is unique because it has that big whopping 152mm, the only light tank in the game to carry a 152. And it is a really fun tank to drive, unless that happens to you there. I mean, you've got no armor, you are a light tank, people are going to shoot HE at you, but also in return, you can shoot the HE at them and do just as much damage, which we are now going to find out from the Emil. 814 damage, nice one, brava. And it's really fun. It really is fun just to get in the tank, just to drive. I mean, to do this to the back of the T-69, just before he goes around the corner, 975 damage. Unlucky. So this is Fizzy driving this tank. We're only going to show just a few clips from it. But if you haven't played the T-49, I've been in battles with the T-49 with the less, I think it's the 90mm gun. yes, it's a better gun, it's got better DPM, better penetration, but it really is not enjoyable to play. Not as enjoyable as the 152. I mean, using the speed, getting behind your targets and doing 900 damage with HE, there is nothing more exciting than doing that kind of damage. Of course, in tier 9, you're going to struggle penning tanks, so usually you just splash them with HE and do 200 to 300 damage. So that brings me now to number 2, and of course it was the Tog. Now this was going to be my number 1 because it really is a unique tank. The Tog 2, why is it unique? I mean, just look at it. It's the longest tank in the game. It's almost the slowest tank in the game, and that's not why it's unique for me. For me, the reason why it's unique is just look at my hit points. 1635 hit points. Now look at that AC Sentinel, same tier, 970. If that's not enough, look at that T29, a tier above, and it's got 1250. So I've almost got 400 hit points than a tier 7 heavy. So that for me is why it is unique. It's the only tank in the game to have more hit points than the tier above, and I think maybe even some tier 8s. So that for me why it is so unique, and it really is a fun tank to drive, because people want to focus you. Because you're a Tog, people want to focus you, but because of your hit points, it's not a problem. If you've got backup, it really is not a problem, because they've got a lot more hit points to get through than you have. And with your DPM, you have got fantastic DPM. You can almost out DPM anything that comes your way. Again, here's the SU-152, a tier above. It is a TD, and it's got 1,000 hit points. So I've got 635 hit points more. That is actually a shot. I can take a shot from the SU-152, doing a high roll or doing an average roll, and still have the same amount of hit points as him. So that is why it is my number 2 most unique tank in World of Tanks Blitz. Now coming in at number 1, it is the Angry Connor. Now this was going to be number 2, the Tog was going to be number 1, but I changed it because I do think the Angry Connor is a bit more unique than the Tog, and there's many reasons why this is unique. 1, it is the slowest tank in the game. 2, it is the only tank in the game to go quicker backwards. And 3, it earns the most credits. It has the best credit coefficient in the game. So that is really why I decided to choose the Angry Connor as number 1. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't really like the tank because of the how slow it is going forward. But the gun on this thing is absolutely amazing. And that for me is the only good thing about the tank. I mean, you can do situations like this where you're facing the enemy. We've got a KV-1 in front of us. We can get a shot off and we can reverse behind the building. So that is really the only decent thing about the tank going faster backwards, that you can get into those positions. And that for me is basically it about the tank. I mean, it does make very nice credits. It's got a really nice gun. Really good DPM, and that is why this tank is number 1 of the most unique tank in the game. If you've got different views, which you're going to have, people are going to have different views, let me know in the comments below what your top 5 most unique tank is in the game. So also, if you've got any more ideas, I like doing my top 5 videos. They are very popular. If you've got any ideas of what kind of top 5 video I can do, please also let me know in the comments below, and I will look at doing it. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm Meadsy69, and I will catch you soon. Bye bye.